Over 2 years have passed since the tragic and mysterious death of a beautiful and talented Filipino flight attendant, found deceased in a hotel bathtub following a New Year's Eve party with friends. This perplexing case has captured the attention of both local and international media, sparking widespread speculation about the circumstances of her demise. It remains uncertain whether her death was a mere accident or the result of an assault that night in room 2209 of the hotel. Today we delve deeper into the enigmatic demise of Christine de Serra. Born on April 13, 1997, Christine de Serra was a Philippine flight attendant working for PAL Express. The second of 4 siblings, she graduated with honors in mass communication from the University of the Philippines Mindanao in Davao City. Despite her family residing in General Santos, Christine relocated to Manila for her career. Renowned for her beauty and talent, Christine had won several national beauty contests in 2019 and had moved to Manila to work with the Philippine airline. Her friends and colleagues describe her as a jovial and amiable individual in her personal life, yet serious and professional at work. On December 31, 2020, Christine opted to celebrate the new year with a close group of friends instead of returning home. She had a strong bond with a group of 5 from the LGBT community, with whom she frequently partied and socialized. This New Year celebration was no exception. The group, consisting of Rommel, Clark, Valentine, Jigo, and John, booked room 2209 at the City Garden Grand Hotel in Makati for their festivities. John was the first to check in on the morning of December 31st, followed by Christine at noon, with the others joining later. Rommel invited 5 additional friends, all males from the LGBT community, named Ray, Louis, Mark, Jeremiah, and Edward. Meanwhile, a separate group of 13 rented the adjacent room 2207 with some acquaintances common to both parties. Around 10 p.m., their celebration commenced. Despite the COVID-19 pandemic and restrictions against gatherings, Christine and her friends indulged in alcoholic beverages, like tequila and rum mixed with Coke, seemingly exempted from rules due to their connection with John Halili, the hotel manager, who facilitated the event. At around 1:45 a.m. after finishing his shift, John joined the party. Surveillance footage from the 22nd floor corridor at 11:21 p.m. shows Christine and her group leaving their room and heading towards room 2207. By 11:38 p.m., Christine and her friends returned to their own room. Christine appeared to be in high spirits, carrying her shoes and holding a drink. Valentine later mentioned they went to room 2207 because they had mutual friends there. They engaged in a game of hip-hop hooray, with Christine emerging as the winner. After returning to room 2209, they started taking photos and videos to post on social media. At 12:30 a.m., Christine called her family to wish them a Happy New Year and spoke with her mother for a while. At 2:50 a.m., Valentine and Christine visited room 2207 again, while a hotel employee delivered a mattress to room 2209. Just 2 minutes later, at 2:52 a.m., both Christine and Valentine returned to their room. Christine, appearing intoxicated, initiated a kiss with Valentine. Between 3 a.m. and 6 a.m., Christine made several trips back and forth to room 2207, but never stayed for long. Approximately every 10 minutes, one of Christine's friends from room 2209 would come over to bring her back. At 4:13 a.m., John visited room 2207 once again to bring Christine back, this time carrying her. Although intoxicated, Christine seemed coherent enough to unlock the door to their room. At 4:39 a.m., Valentine and Christine went back to room 2207. They returned to their room at 4:52 a.m., appearing to be in good spirits. At 5:05 a.m., Rommel went to room 2207 to bring Christine back, and they appeared to be playfully joking around. At 6:23 a.m., the last sighting of Christine was captured as Valentine carried her back into their room, with Christine being the one to open the door. At 7:23 a.m., some individuals from room 2207 started to leave the hotel. By 9 a.m., some friends from room 2209 began to depart as well. At 10 a.m., Rommel woke up to use the bathroom and found Christine lying in the bathtub. He tried to wake her, suggesting she should lie down on the bed for comfort. Christine was still breathing but had her eyes tightly shut. Rommel thought she seemed exhausted, but was indicating with her hand for him to let her sleep. At least he believed so. Rommel noted that her hand was resting on her stomach. He then provided Christine with a blanket and pillow, before returning to bed himself. By noon, Rommel went to the bathroom to wake Christine as they needed to check out soon. That's when he realized her lips had turned blue, and she was no longer breathing. Panic-stricken, Rommel called for the others. At this point, only 5 people remained in the hotel: Jigo, John, Rommel, Valentine, and Clark. They immediately pulled Christine out of the bathtub and attempted CPR. Jigo called for hotel staff and an ambulance. They were all terrified and frantic. Hotel staff arrived quickly to check and brought a wheelchair, which was too small and lacked footrests, making it difficult to place Christine, whose body had stiffened, onto it. Christine was taken to the hotel's clinic, but the doctor there could not revive her. They hurriedly transported Christine to McCarty City Hospital, but it was too late. By 5 p.m., the hospital declared Christine deceased. The following day, January 2, 2021, Christine's body was transferred to Rizal Funeral Homes in Pasay City at 9 a.m. for an autopsy. The post-mortem examination concluded that the cause of death was an aneurysm caused by a ruptured aorta. According to the autopsy report, there were no traces of drugs or stimulants in Christine's system. However, 150 milliliters of a black liquid was found in her stomach. The autopsy results also indicated no semen traces were found on Christine's body, and her underwear contained only her DNA. The examination of her genital area revealed a tear in the hymen, which was old and nearly healed, indicating it was not a recent injury. The forensic report also noted multiple bruises on her right arm, right thigh, right ankle, and foot, and a fresh scratch on her left thigh. Notably, there were acupuncture marks on Christine's right hand. January 4, 2021. The Philippine police announced to the media that they had solved the case, declaring it a gang rape and claiming semen traces were found on Christine's body. This statement caused public confusion, as it directly contradicted the forensic report released the previous day, which clearly concluded there were no signs of rape. Despite this, the chief of the PNP announced the arrest of 3 men suspected of raping and killing Christina: John de la Sera, Rommel de Loro, and John Halili. However, everyone present at the hotel that night, especially Christine's close friends in room 2209, asserted their innocence, highlighting that they were all gay and had no sexual interest in women. They had known Christine for a long time and regarded her purely as a friend. Nonetheless, the police colonel believed the suspects could have sexually assaulted Christine, and declared that, regardless of their sexual orientation, men will be men, especially when intoxicated. This statement by the police sparked a divide in public opinion, with some believing the police's words and condemning Christine's gay friends, while others criticized the police for their sloppy and unprofessional work. The forensic report and investigation results were at odds, leading to widespread suspicion that the police had prematurely closed the case. Others blamed Christine, arguing that she dressed too provocatively and drank excessively without knowing how to protect herself. On January 4th, hashtags like "Justice for Christine," "Stop Blaming the Victim," and "Protect Intoxicated Girls" flooded social media. The Philippine police faced public backlash for embalming Christine's body before conducting the autopsy, which could significantly affect the accuracy of toxicological studies. Major Michael admitted embalming Christine without her family's consent, citing compliance with new regulations introduced post-COVID pandemic. Christine's family did not accept her death as a result of natural causes and requested another autopsy. Christine's mother sued the police for their negligence and unprofessionalism, believing the bruises on Christine's limbs were evidence of rape. However, Christine's friends explained that she had been excessively drinking that night, staggering and vomiting from 3:30 a.m. to 7 a.m. She vomited multiple times in the toilet and had been kneeling on the floor for a long time, which could explain the knee bruises. They said Christine was so intoxicated she could not change her clothes and vomited all over herself and her hair. They cleaned up the vomit in the bathtub and covered her with a jacket. Since Christine continued to feel nauseous, she chose to stay in the bathtub instead of soiling the bed. They suggested the thigh bruise could have occurred as she clumsily climbed into the bathtub, and the scratch on her thigh was from trying to place her on a trolley, but her body was stiff, causing her thigh to scrape against the trolley handle. However, Christine's mother did not believe these explanations. She argued that her daughter was young and healthy, especially since Christine worked for an airline and was regularly medically examined. She also pointed to a video showing Christine kissing Valentine before entering the room, suggesting it may have triggered dark intentions in the men. Meanwhile, Valentine insisted that Christine initiated the kiss, and it was merely a drunken moment. In another video, John is seen carrying Christine back to the room. In an interview, John explained they had to go to room 2207 numerous times to bring Christine back because she was too drunk and started vomiting there. He said Christine suddenly became weak and couldn't stand, so he had to carry her. Christina's friends affirmed they only wanted to help her and had no intention of raping her. They also believed Christine was not raped by the men from room 2207, as she never stayed there alone for more than 10 minutes, and she was normal when they brought her back. If Christine had been raped in room 2207, she surely would have told them. On January 5th, the Philippine National Investigation Bureau took over the case and conducted a second autopsy on Christine's body. Tissue samples were collected, and an attempt was made to extract fluid from her organs to determine whether she had been sexually assaulted. On January 16th, 3 of Christina's friends were released after the National Investigation Bureau ruled it out homicide as the cause of Christina's death. After 2 autopsies, experts concluded that she died from a ruptured aorta. Christine had suffered cardiopulmonary arrest leading to the rupture. A medical report on January 11th also indicated that Christine's heart weighed 500 grams, whereas a normal heart weighs around 300 grams. This discovery suggests Christine had long-standing, undiagnosed hypertension, which caused her heart to enlarge. Aortic aneurysms are typically associated with older individuals and arise from arteriosclerosis, but can also occur in younger people due to complications from other diseases. In Christine's case, increased blood pressure in the aorta led to its weakening and subsequent rupture. Hypertension can lead to various symptoms, such as fatigue, nausea, and excessive sweating. It's possible that Christine and her friends mistook these symptoms for the effects of excessive drinking and a hangover, delaying urgent medical care. On April 27th, the police cleared the 11 men who were at the hotel with Christine that night of rape charges. Despite the Daquera family's disbelief in the forensic results and multiple lawsuits filed, the police lacked sufficient evidence to charge her friends. Over a week after her death, Christine was returned to her hometown and laid to rest at Forest Lake Memorial Park in General Santos City. More than a year after Christine's passing, her friends appeared in a television interview. They shared how their lives were completely overturned since that tragic night. Even though the charges were dropped, they struggled to find new employment. They were relentlessly attacked and vilified online. Among them, Jigo suffered the most, having to sell his late mother's assets and suffering from chronic depression. Despite the tarnishing of their reputations and careers over a crime they did not commit, the group expressed their determination to start over and move forward through the storm. The anguish endured by Christine's family is unimaginable, and it seems they cannot come to terms with the circumstances of her passing. Life is fragile and unpredictable. May we always cherish each moment with our loved ones. Thanks for watching.